Mitchell T. Mitchell believed in Santa until he was 9, even though he's Jewish. Everybody give it up for Mitchell T.
Thank you very much, everybody. My name is Mitchell Trachtenberg, G, as you saw on the screen. I love my last name, Trachtenberg. In Yiddish, Trachtenberg means thinking mountain. And I love that. It's deep, it's philosophical, I connect to it. Then one day, I met a girl from Kazakhstan. She saw my name and instantly started laughing. I said, what's so funny? She says, in my language, Trachten means something a little different. That was the night I learned that my cherished family name between Kazakh, Russian, and Yiddish means fuck mountain. Yes. Doesn't have the same mystique, does it? So I've been doing stand-up for a little over a year now, and sometimes I tell that joke, and you can hear people's eyes rolling from the back of the room. Other times it goes really well. So let's talk about when it doesn't go very well. When you tell a joke to a quiet room, it's called bombing in the comedy world, so we're going to talk about bombing. Of course, not just comedians bomb. You know, you might bomb a big presentation for work or an attempt to talk to someone you think is kind of cute. But bombing and the fear of bombing can be a huge barrier to creativity. So now I'm going to share with you a couple of my most embarrassing stories on stage, but the lessons I learned from them. Let's start out in London. Wow, these are the wrong slides. Yeah, no. Well, you know, let's go. I was in London. I was going to watch a comedy show, but one of the people didn't show up, so I wound up performing. I said I had 5 minutes of material. The host said, great, you're an American. Let's put you on there. They made me the headliner. And everyone in my honor broke out all their American material. And when I got up, I realized I had nothing to say. And I bombed like I'd never bombed before. But then I thought of something my grandfather told me. As I was walking back, I was thinking, he would have said, don't worry, Mitchell. In 50 years, who's going to remember? And he was absolutely right. So many times, our most embarrassing memories only exist in our own minds. Nobody's thinking about the stupid thing you did. They're thinking about the stupid thing they did and hoping you don't remember. But of course, it still hurts to work really hard on something and have it smashed to bits. So I always try to remember that no matter how badly you bomb whatever you're doing, there's always a little positive nugget, and focusing on that positive nugget can really improve your outlook. In this case, the fuck mountain bit did all right. And you know what? If you didn't learn anything, if there were no bright spots, then at least you learned something. And isn't that a little victory in its own way? The second one is really weird. I decided that I was not afraid of bombing, and I was going to do something crazy. I was going to get on stage at the usual open mic at my university, and I was going to recite the entirety of Shakespeare's To Be or Not to Be speech. Except when I got to the line, and in the sleep of death what dreams may come, I would then break down laughing because Shakespeare said the word come. Like a 12-year-old. It was a terrible idea. It failed. It failed really badly. But not for the reason you'd think. Not for the reason you'd think. See, as I was up there, I forgot the words. I froze, and I just started stuttering, and I panicked. I even took out my phone to look at what it really was. But people were laughing, because they saw me butchering a Shakespeare speech. They thought that was my idea. They thought I was going to butcher a speech. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet, sure. They thought that I was butchering a Shakespeare speech as my entire performance. They didn't know I messed anything up. I would have never thought to get on stage and purposely butcher a Shakespeare speech. But making the decision to push forward with a crazy idea without the fear of bombing led to this really cool idea. This world is filled with horrible mistakes that this world is filled with horrible mistakes that became brilliant inventions. Look at Shakespeare himself. Have you read his plays? They're loaded with typos, guys. He did not have spell check. So let's review. When you mess up on stage or whatever you're doing, you're gonna be the one who remembers it the most. So I always take solace in that. No matter how badly you fail, there's always a bright side. That could be a great paperweight. I don't know what even happened. Did a pencil fall on this really hard from like the top of the Sears Tower? I gotta hear that story, but that's for another speech. And the final one is, if you're not afraid to bomb and you just go with it, even if you fail, it could lead to something really cool and imaginative that you would have never expected. My name is Mitchell Fuck Mountain. Thank you very much.